Hi, Truth Inspired. My name is Harry Grillo. I'm an admin for Truth Inspired, and I just want to give you a little bit of my testimony. I was raised Catholic, so I had faith in my life since I was an infant. And my mother brought me up in the faith and taught me the importance of prayer and of loving God. And as I grew older, I thought that I wanted to become a monk. And at one point, I thought about becoming a priest. And I even went to a seminary to look at it when I was a teenager in my early teens. I flew out with my family to El Paso, Texas with my dad and my brother. And something about it just didn't feel right. I didn't feel like I was going to grow closer to God there. So I went back home and I pursued some of my other interests. And I was very drawn to artistic, uh, creative things. I liked writing. I draw. I've been drawing my whole life since I was 3 years old. I've been drawing. I drew this picture of Christ back here that you can see in the background. I'll show you a close-up of that before I finish. Um, I, at one point, wanted to be a rock and roll singer. So I went from one extreme to the other, wanting to be a priest to wanting to be in the rock music industry. Um, I kind of toned that back a little bit and wanted to pursue songwriting, and I started to pursue that as an adult. Got to the point where I was getting my songs out to famous people, and finally I submitted a song for consideration to Warner Brothers record label for a major artist. I won't say their name, but they told me that it wasn't right, and I was a little frustrated. I didn't understand what they were trying to tell me. It sounded a lot like a song that this person would sing. Um, so I started praying on it, and I asked God, please, God, let me know if there's some reason why I can't pursue this path, that you don't want me on this path, then let me know the reason. Well, I started to understand some things about the entertainment industry that made me realize I didn't want to be a part of it. I won't go into that, but it wasn't a godly path. I did get to work at a radio station for a little while. I enjoyed that, but I saw a lot of the things that the lack of morality was involved in that whole world, and I knew that wasn't right for me. I wanted to do something that helped share my love of God with others, and I thought that if I went into music, I could influence large masses of people to turn to God. And I thought I could do this in the secular music realm. And I understand now that that's not necessarily going to work. Um, Became very frustrated for a few years, and I kept saying to myself, what am I here for? What am I here for? What's the purpose? What is my vocation? Um, in 2014, I got a phone call from my younger brother, David, and he told me that our brother Steve had passed away at the age of 50. And that thought that I had been having my whole life was still going through my head. What am I even doing here? I think I felt my mortality, seeing my brother passed away, and it was bothering me a lot. Um, I got to the point that evening where I was by myself for a minute, and I was calm. I wasn't freaking out or anything. But I heard an interior voice, and it said to me, your vocation is to love. And I truly believe that that was God's way of letting me know that that was the last message from my brother, and that God allowed me to hear his voice, because ultimately that is the message of God, that he tells us the two great commandments: love God and love your neighbor. And that was something that my brother Steve lived throughout his whole life. And and that really hit me that night. And I realized it didn't matter what I was doing with my life. It mattered how I was living it and how I was sharing God's truth with other people. Things kind of changed after that. And I still struggle with anxiety and depression. I still struggle with frustration, not knowing or knowing that I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. As far as a career, I'm working a regular 9 to 5 type job, and it's not my favorite thing in the world, I'll be honest. But I see where I have those opportunities to share the gifts that God gave me and to share kindness and joy and love with others and show them that He is the reason why. He's the reason why for peace in your heart. He's the reason why for joy. He's true joy, true love. Jesus is the real reason for having peace here. You can't go through life without that, and I see so many people without it get to where they think they can fill that hole with something else, and when it doesn't work, they don't understand why. And unfortunately, it sadly leads to a place where they can't be helped anymore, unless they find that truth. I pray that all of you find that truth in your life, and I hope that you understand that sharing love, the love of Christ, is what being here is all about. That's everyone's vocation. We're all called to love. And if you're watching this, I'm sure you know what love really means. It means love of your fellow man. Love God first and love your fellow man as you would yourself. So that doesn't mean pride. That means a love and respect for yourself and for others, because we're all made by God. And consider this: the devil is in a battle for your soul. If your soul is not that important, why does the devil want it so badly? Because you can see all the bad that he's doing to a lot of people in this world, trying to get them to turn away from Christ. And unfortunately, it's happening. But I pray that you have an understanding beyond that, and that you always rely on Christ to be your strength. And now I'll show you real quick this picture that I drew, this portrait of Christ. I drew this last year, and I have on the mat around it, I put names of people that I pray for every day. And I just thought that was something that I could do to help commemorate all the people that I pray for regularly. I hope you like it. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.